Vanessa filming for Carolyn's Musings on YouTube and Etsy and One Way Journals on Facebook. So what we've got for you today is the Breath of Spring digital journal kit. It's really, really sweet and perfect for spring. It's not spring in Australia. We're still on the tail end of summer, going into autumn, but this is beautiful for you and the rest of the world where you're heading into spring. Love all the colors, and this kit is in some really lovely greens and yellows. So the bonus today is it's one kit, but I'm doing a tutorial for 2 journals. So there's a very simple one here, so this one. And so this is, I'll tell you later in the video where this is going, but that's a quick flick through of this one, how to do that. And then that's got a little dangle on there as well. And then this one is where it's got 2 signatures sewn with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And this one, I'll give you a quick little look. So it's beautiful for spring, but also for celebrating Easter. Just the digitals and the things included are just really, really lovely. Okay, so let me get on to what's in the kit. First of all, I'll show you the backing papers. So there's this one, it's like a wrinkled green paper. This one has got this beautiful design. And then this one has got the bright, bolder, big flowers on it. And then this one has got a smaller green and yellow flower. They're sort of like little splotches and flowers and things. Okay, so they're the 4 backing pages. And so let's go have a look through what we've got here. So this is really sweet, and a jug with flowers and birds. So there's, as you can see, it's the small size 2 to a page. So that's that one. Oops, done that way. And then a sweet little bird again, birdhouse, and 2 sweet little girls there. Sorry. Here, this one, so it's got the Easter theme with the cross and here rose, beautiful butterflies. And then this one, this is a great page to put pockets and things on. And then here we go again. So that's the backing paper. So this would be great to put ephemera on top, and then the sweet birds, and then this here. And then with all of these, the backing paper, I just sort of mixed it up with different of the backing papers, just sort of varied them throughout these pages. And so that's lovely. This is great. We'll have to have a little think if this is just plain writing space or what we can do on the top of this blank space here. Might even be able to do like a little notepad or something. I'm not sure. Let me think about that. So that's gorgeous. And then here again, so lots of flowers and birds and spring things. Just reminds you of glorious Easter as well. And then this angel image, beautiful little girl, and then the lamb. So just love that for Easter, for spring. And then this is really lovely with a swinging sort of chair there, butterflies, birds, waterfall, etc. And then how gorgeous is this? Our risen Lord, which is on here, then a bouquet, and that says is risen today. Christ the Lord is risen today. That's what that says there. Here it's as he promised, Deuteronomy 26:19. And here I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me, John 14:6. So really beautiful. And then some more beautiful images here. And again here. So this one actually says Easter joy. So Jesus came to earth to show us how to live, how to put others first, how to love, and how to give. And then that continues on. And that's a poem by, looks like Joanna Fuchs, possibly. And then here it says, our Easter morn, we celebrate our Saviour. Whatever people seek in him, they find in history. There has never been another. So holy, sacrificial, good and kind. That's lovely. Sorry, that's upside down. And then, yes, so this is really beautiful as well. Springtime is in the air. I hope you can feel it too, for it's the time of year God uses to heal and renew. And then here, this is from Song of Solomon 2:11-12. For to the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. that's lovely. And then we have here, which is a collage paper. So I just put that small one on the back. And then Carolyn has included these. So this reminds me of the Flower of the Month series that was launched at the beginning of the year. So that's fantastic for writing spots. And I just put that print on the back. And then this one is like double pages with lines, and I put that one on the back. So I've only just printed one at the moment, but I'll see how I go on. I'm going to cut everything out and then decide how I'm going to do the journal cover, what I'm going to do. And then I might make several of these that will go throughout between the images and things. I might even make it, split it and put it into 2 different journals and make 2 simple ones so that they can be quick and easy ones to give out for Easter. So leave that with me. I'll cut it out, ink everything, and then come back to you. But before I do that, I nearly forgot, I've got to show you the ephemera pages. So here we go. So this is so fantastic words that Fussy cuts, and these look like the little tags that you can make them as little swing tags, etc., little embellishments. So that's great. I've just printed that on the back. Some beautiful doilies here in the greens and yellows, and printed that on the back. So here we have some fold over folio cards. That's on the back. And then, oh, I love the deep colours in these fold over tags. That's fantastic. So actually, I've just realised that this was one of the backing papers. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to show you a bit later on. I think I've forgotten to print it on the back of one of them. So this pattern here, let me do something with that and then show you. I'll pop it in at the end. Of this segment, and then so another fold over one with crosses on it, and then we have a little mini envelope, and then this one is the window pocket extension card. So I'll come back and show you what that goes into in a minute. So I love the lion and the lamb in front of the cross, so Jesus tag, and so yeah, some more little tags and things there. These may be stackable pockets. We'll have to, I think they will be. And then some more tags there. And then these are pockets, so I didn't print on the back, and we've got some fussy cuts. So we've got my child, your sins are forgiven, Mark 2:5. I know that my Redeemer lives, and by his wounds we are healed, Isaiah 53:5. And then I am the resurrection and the life, John 11:25. I think that is, yep. Okay, so that's great. Now this is what that extension card goes into the top of that. So this folds in half. We glue down the side and the bottom, and then the tag will go in there. This bit we will cut out and put acetate behind it, or you could put some lace or some vellum. So I love these. And then some fantastic stamps that we can cut out, and then some fussy cuts. I love this embroidered look on those. And then finally some ball pockets. This is the backing piece of your pocket, and then these bits you score down here and then fold them and stick behind this, so it creates a pocket but it looks like a little mini envelope. So I'll show you that. I have done that in another tutorial, but I'll show you that one again. And how fabulous are these, all these butterflies and fussy cuts as well. Okay, so let me cut all that out and come back to you, but I'll quickly see if I can print out and put in that other backing sheet as well to show you. So I printed a couple more of these pages, and that's the backing paper. Actually, it doesn't really matter which way it goes up, but I've probably done that upside down and they probably go that way, but that's okay. That's all right. Yes, so there we go. Now I'm going to go cut and ink. I just wanted to mention that you did notice that when I was showing you what was in the kit, that I didn't put the images front and back. I'm sure they work out fine when you line them up, but I decided, I did have in my mind that I was going to do a couple of small little journals. So I think you could actually get, I've got 3 signatures out of the papers by backing each image with a backing sheet. And so this is the first one. So I think you could actually get 4 signatures out of them. So you could actually make 4 little journals, so quick gifts to give away for Easter. but I'm going to make two. So one's going to be a bigger one and this one's going to be a little one because I wanted to show you a couple of different things. So this one here, I chose all the really cute images. And so there's the lamb here on the front of the signature, and then I did like the little children there, then a bird. So it was sort of like animal, then a little girl, animal, then a little girl. So that's how I've done that. And then that one there is the center for this one. And so they're the images on the other side. I'll just quickly do that so you can see them. They're so sweet. So this is actually going for one of the Persian families that are joining us for Easter lunch. She's 7, and so this is going to be a little booklet for her. And so I haven't actually done writing space for her. She's obviously learning English. She's just started at school here in Australia. So I didn't really want to do a lot of writing space in hers, but these backing papers is where there's going to be some pockets and little tags and things like that that she can scribble on. And so this one's very simple. So depending on what size yours print out, the pages of mine, the way these printed out, were 5 1/4 by 8 inches. So that's that size. So 8 along there and 5 1/4. And so this little folder that I made is basically half of an A4 card sheet cut down. And so this is 8 1/4. And then that way it is, sorry, 8 1/4 that way. And then this way was 5 3/8. Okay, so however you measure yours, just make sure, mine didn't have much of a border to fit on this one, so it pretty much butts around the edges, if you can see that there, because this one's not going to be very big. And so what I did was I just scored 1/4 inch spine down the center. So that would mean that you would score at the 4 inch line and then 4 1/4. Okay, and then that would give you that to close. So this one, I'm going to go sew in a 3-hole pamphlet stitch into this one and then add pockets and then show you. Because she's 7, I didn't ink all the pages. I didn't think that was necessary. I love to ink everything, but I didn't ink these, but I did ink just the borders so that they would stand around on the front and the back. Okay, so that's the first little one. You could make four cute little ones like this. Or what I've done here is I have sort of pushed it out to make it into 2 signatures. You could actually even do 3 because there's quite a lot in here with all the backing pages that I put in there, and then I put lined pages as well. So with these signatures, I've sort of tried to change that the backing pages are a little bit different as you go along. And also I sort of added that one in there, then did an image, then a lined one, then an image, then the notebook one, then an image, then the lined one, etc. So that gives you, and that's going to be my center. I thought that was really sweet with Easter Joy. So that's on that signature. This one here, same sort of thing. I tried to alternate them. And then on the center is this one. So I decided that I'd grab the envelope from the kit and I'm going to sew that one into this. Okay, so that signature. And I really need to start using my scrapbooking paper. I've got a whole stack of it, so I tried to have a look and see if I had anything that would match, and I had this paper here, so it was a 12 by 12. Okay, so with measurements, you know, keep in mind I'm in Australia, mine might be a little bit different to yours, but this piece of paper that I've used from the 12 by 12 was 7 by 10 3/4. So you might want to get a pad and write these down if you want to try it out yourself. Then the 2 bits of cards that I've used, these were just scrap card, and it was 4 1/4 by 5 5/8. Okay, so there's 2 of those, and then the spine here is 7/8 of an inch. Okay, and then I've just punched a hole in, which was 1/2 inch from either side for my 2 signatures. Okay, and I have just used double-sided tape and stuck those down to this. So I need to miter the corners here, so I'll do that in just a second. Now on the front I chose 2 images. So this one is the center of one of those signatures, which is beautiful, but this is going to be on the front cover, so I've just inked around the outside. And this one, let me see, did I write it down? It's 3 3/4 that way and 5 1/8 that way, and so that just gives me a nice sort of border around the outside. And then this one is going to be on the back. So they were 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. So I'm going to stick those on. Now, because I have done that, I sort of covered up all of this beautiful sort of daffodil paper. And normally when I fold these in, I would put a completely different digital, so maybe one of the images is what I would do on the inside covers, but I had the 12 by 12 and I still had these left over, so I'm actually going to use these on the inside, and I still think it's going to look great. Because I've inked around the edge, it's still going to give me that border. Now these measured 5 inches by 4 inches, and that's going to bring it right up to the edge. So that's those 2. And then this one is going to cover the spine. And so this was 7/8 of an inch, but I wanted it to go over. Okay, so I wanted them to go over the side a bit. I didn't, because you know we've got a gap here. By the way, I had a piece of card that when I stuck this down, I just stuck that card in there and then butted the spine up, and that gave me that perfect little gap in between. It's just going to help it to bend. So this is going to glue down, and this spine, to cover the spine, is 1 1/4 by 5 5/8. So that's going to go stick that down there. So I'm going to do that. But before, which shall I do? I think I need to stick this down first, and then my closure, I'm going to add the ribbon. Sorry, just thinking. So if I do that, that'll come in that way. No, I have to add it in after, so I've done this. So I think I've given you all the measurements. Let me just mitre this and stick these down. So if you're new to junk journal, you haven't done that, you just sort of cut a curve like that on the 4 corners. Okay. And then I'm just going to snip a little bit here. Okay. Now I have punched out the holes, and when I've put this all together, I can stick a needle through, and then that's going to punch my holes perfectly through this when I stick that on. So I hope that makes sense. Alright, so that's that there. So let's stick these down, and then what you do is you just, when you fold these, you just sort of bend it like that to get it around the corner. All right, so I'll just speed through this as I'm gluing these down. So there we go, that's done. Make sure it's up the right way when we're doing the next section. So this is the spine. I've already put double-sided tape on it. So we'll put this down. Actually, I think I need to do my ribbon first. So just I'll put that there for a sec. And then the ribbon. Now the ribbon's just going to go just under the center, okay, because I don't want that to interfere with my holes. So I'm just going to glue this here. Okay, and then we'll run this along there. Okay, so now I'm ready to put down, make sure this is up the right way. Okay, and then we just want to bend this. Okay, so you can use a scoring tool, but don't press too hard and puncture it, but just that's like that. And if your tape isn't right to the edge, you can stick a bit of glue underneath. Okay, there, but we've got these to sit on top, so that's going to come to the edge. That's going to be okay. Make sure they're up the right way, that one and that one, but I am going to make sure this is glued down. All right, I'll just speed that up. Okay, so now we're ready to stick these pieces on. Okay, so there we go. So that's the cover done. We've got a closure tie ribbon there and then they're put in there. So what I'm going to do is go and sew in the signatures on both of these. And I forgot to mention this little one is going to go to one of the Persian families coming for Easter lunch, and she's 16. So she's also just started school here in Australia. And so this one I wanted to make sure there was some writing space and things in there, and her English is really fantastic. She's coming along really well. Okay, so let me go do that and then I'll come back to you to show you any of the ephemera that might need a bit of explaining. I've nearly finished this first one, and so let's just quickly go through. I've just added some of this ribbon and just threaded it through this section here, the stitching on the spine. And so I've just used one of the backing papers to do on the inside cover here and on the back as well. And then this little pocket here is this one. There's two of them, so I'll just quickly show if you haven't seen this one before. And so you just need to glue on the inside there. I'll be putting this into the bigger journal. Oh, and you need to run a strip down the bottom as well. Just a little one. So I have a bit of a tickle in my throat. And then just glue those flaps to the back. Also need to pull that one down a little bit. There we go. And then there we go. How cute is that? It just makes like a little envelope that you can, you know, it doesn't close, but it will sit on your page. So you just glue the back and glue that down on your page. So that will go into the other one, and this is going to be perfect for all the little words and things that can go in there. And then the young lady who's receiving this, she can then embellish her journal with all the words, etc. Now in this one I didn't put the words because she's only 7, so I thought it would be better to do a whole bunch of fussy cuts for her instead. So all I've done is this fussy cut. You know, she could write something or scribble on the back of it, but I thought that looked quite cute there. And the word Easter. This one is Lamb of God, and I have actually backed this on some cardstock to give it, to make sure it's firm. And then punched a little eyelet in there, and then a gourd bolt garment pin, and then it has just a little dangle here that says Jesus on it. So there we go. And then here is I printed 2 of the envelopes. So one is in the signature of the other journal, and this one I printed and just popped that there so it can close. And then it opens up. Now the reason I did this with her little hands, it would be easier for her to get the contents out if I left it open instead of gluing down the sides. And so my intention to put in here is a whole bunch of fussy cuts, but I wanted to show you this. So if you're a member over on Carolyn's Facebook page called One Way Journals, she has issued very generously this bunch of fussy cuts. I'm sorry, I think there's another second page that has some words on it that like the collage page, it's got a lot of those sorts of words on it. So I'm going to cut out these. I wanted to show you the full sheet first. I'm going to cut them out and then I'm going to put a bunch of them in here. I thought it would be great with the blues and things for her and the biggest sort of fussy cuts. And I'm going to gift her this with a stick of glue so that she can have fun gluing these onto her sweet little journal. So here you go, because it's more for her to decorate and do that sort of have fun to stick and paste rather than trying to write, you know, she's only 7. And so what I did was a lot of the pockets I have got in the other journals. So this is actually using the collage sheet. I've just cut out this section, very simple rectangle pocket. And then you'll see 3 of these in here. Carolyn has also given us for Easter. These are card toppers. And so I thought these were really cute for this journal. So I didn't ink the inside, I just did the outside. And there's 3 of these little cards. The living water of God's word nourishes your heart's garden. So that one will go in there. Okay, and then just the little bird. And then she can glue on her little fussy cuts and things on here. Sweet little girl there. Same fussy cuts, the little duckling. And this beautiful little girl here. And then this is the second one of these cards. So I just backed them with that, that backing on there because she can scribble and things in those if she wants to. And then this one here, I made a little notebook. So the paper clip's just holding it. So I went to my scrap box to see what I had in there, and I just folded over some of this rainbow paper, and I had it all sort of staggered, and then I popped a little, it all looked lovely staggered, and then I thought, oh, I'll put this little bit of scrap that I had a little picture in underneath, and then when I did it I was like, oh, that doesn't stagger as well because now I put the picture on. It's all good, still looks good. She can scribble on that, so that goes there. And then with the signature tied in, it's just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I just tied on a little flower and a little leaf there. So she's got a little dangle there. And then these are just some of the pockets from the kit and one of the tags. Just put a bit of ribbon on that, and I just put 1 fussy cut here. I didn't do any other fussy cuts. This is sweet. And then this is just another pocket made from the collage sheet. And then this is the 3rd of those, wherever life plants you bloom with grace. And so that's another one of those little card toppers, which I thought could be fun for her to draw in there. And then that's sweet. And then this was 1 of 3 staggered pockets, but I just put the one there with the little Jesus tag in there. And then she can scribble on here or put fussy cuts there as well, coming to the end. And then these are the other 2 of those staggered pockets, and then they've just got these little mini little fold out. So these would look really sweet with a butterfly or a little fussy cut on those, but I've left them so that she can do that. And then it's just got that image on the back. Okay, so that's the first one. And the second one is this. So I have actually sewn in my 2 signatures. I think I'll probably put some lace or something over the spine, and then I've just put on the front and the back, and you saw me glue down the tie closure and then the inside here. And I did ink all the edges for this one because she's 16, so I just put in that extra effort to ink all the pages. And I have a few more things that I want to get done on here, but I'll go over. So these doilies normally sit, I fold them in half, and then the fold goes over the page, and you have one on the front and one on the back. But because of the way I've done the signatures here, I didn't want that image over, so I've cut it in half, and I'm just going to run a very thin string of glue down the edge, and then that's going to create a pocket for me. So there's a couple of those that I've put in here. That's the only thing I've really done so far, and this is the envelope that was stitched in, and so I am now going to run a little bit of glue and just sorry, when you sew them in, that envelope has to be open, and then once you've stitched it in, then you can close it up. Oh, I added a lot. Oh, that's coming out a lot. Oops, that's bent. I didn't realize that. Hopefully that won't stick to the page. Gosh, that was a very loud motorbike. Okay, I'm going to go off camera because I've got to make sure that doesn't stick down, and I'm going to do a few more things and then come to you to do a flip through. I've just got to make sure that that doesn't, it doesn't close, because that was a bit bent. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't do that, just to make sure that's okay. And then this one, if you haven't seen this with Carolyn's before, this pocket I have cut out the square that is here, and I've just realized I haven't put the acetate on yet, so I'm going to cut out a square piece of acetate. So you could put some vellum, a see-through vellum, or some lace or something. I'm going to do that. I have inked around the inside as well as the outside. Now, I always print a backing, and I must have missed it on this sheet, so that's okay. I just inked around the edges and then grabbed a piece of offcut and then stuck that down so that when the tag pulls out, it's not plain white. I've got that there. And then I'm going to run a very thin strip of glue down here, and that's going to close it up, but leave this panel out. And then this is going to be glued down to any page, so we can find an empty one here, and we're going to glue down that side, and that is going to glue down like that, and then we will have a flip, and I will probably just put some washi tape over the top of that to cover that white section, because silly me forgot to put backing paper on it before I cut it. Now the tag that I wanted to put, the tag that goes in is this one, and I thought, why not? I had some extra of a couple of sheets. The signatures were getting quite thick, so I only had one or two. This one was one that I printed but didn't use, so what I did was I just glued that on top of one of these journal pages, and that's the actual journal page, and that was the backing, and just rounded the corners and inked it, and then put the word Lamb of God there, and then on the other side crucified, and down the bottom here risen Saviour. So I think that's quite lovely, and so that will go in there and go into the journal. And then I think pretty much everything else is self-explanatory. These ones are pretty much, you could do them as you could just glue down those sides and have it as a pocket and punch a hole in the you know, like a notch in the top, and that can be a pocket, or you can glue it here and here, leave this out, and then that can be a flip as well in your journal. And I'm pretty sure that's everything else is self-explanatory. There's lots of these little lots of journaling space and these that we can stick in some pockets and things. So let me go do that, and then I'll come back to you once this is dry too. So I've got the second journal finished, so let's take a look. So I've added some silver corners on the front and the back, and so it was the other one I did sort of gold embellishments, little dangles and things like that. This time I decided let's change it up and do silver, but then on the spine I actually put some green and white gingham down ribbon, and it was a bit thin, so I thought I'll decorate with some wood buttons that I had. So there's just a sort of variety of butterflies and flowers on the spine, and because this is going to a 16-year-old girl, I thought let's try and funky it up a little bit. So I've done that on there, and then I put a wooden heart here with just some embroidery thread, which I sort of just tied into a bow and then glued that down there. And so let's open it up. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention was that this one I did a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which was great, no problem, quick, very quick, easy journal to make. And that was silver and I changed it out to gold, so they're all gold little dangles that are in that one. This one I had to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch because the middle section, which was an envelope, this one here, the one hole here, the two that I punched up here weren't going to catch the envelope, so I really did have to go and punch another 2 holes here. So this is actually put together with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. If you haven't seen how to do that before, please just look up Carolyn's Musings on YouTube and type in 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and there's a tutorial on how to do that. Okay, so let's have a look. So I've added one of these little pockets in the front of this one as well, and this one has all the words cut out that she can embellish pages and things as she goes to journal, or whatever she chooses to do with this journal. So this is the front of the signature, and then I've just stuck on the stuck on the doily just there, and then this is just a very plain cut. I haven't done anything to embellish on here. There's a lot that I want her to be able to do. So there is an envelope, it's jam-packed, stuffed full of fussy cuts and things for her to be able to decorate. So here I did put an eyelet, so it has actually got an eyelet on the page so that it won't rip, and then I just used some of the fantastic dangles and sort of just layered some up, and then I put this heart pin through, and then, you know, I think it's fine there. I don't need to disguise that that's the legs of the pin on the back, and just put that little fussy cut there as part of the dangle sheet. Lots of writing space. And then we have some images, just a simple pocket here with a tag, and I just put a fussy cut there. And this one was one of these. Now we could have glued this down, punched a hole, and could have used it as a pocket, or like a pocket, and you could put a bookmark or something like that in there, but I chose to glue it down and just use it as extra writing space, and then just put that there, glued it halfway down to keep that closed. So we'll keep going. This is a top tuck pocket. I just turned it upside down so that it's not too heavy down the bottom, and just put that tag in there with a fussy cut and some lace. And then this one is the one that I put the acetate on and showed you what I just previous told you what I was going to do with that one. So that goes in there beautifully, and then get that in quickly, and then that's just glued down to the page, and I've put washi tape there just to disguise the white, so that flips out. And then this is the center of the signature, so I've just put a little dove and a flower with the silver just on those strings there. This is really lovely, this page. So just get more there, and a doily with this. Now this is one of the cards that is over free on Carolyn's Facebook page called One Way Journals, and so that I've just put the fussy cuts on there, so you can go check those out. Keep going. Beautiful page. Springtime is in the air. I hope you can feel it too, for it's the time of the year God uses to heal and renew. So just keep going. Then I've done 2 pockets here, put some lace on, and then the fussy cuts. This was the sheet of the freebies for the Facebook group, and I printed 2 to a page. So in the other journal they're bigger because she's only 7, so it's great for her to have big things to glue down. These ones I did 2 to a page, so they're smaller, just inked around them and put them on the front of the pockets. And then these were 2 separate tags, and I've just used some washi to hinge them together, and then put the little stampy images, these ones, on the front. And so that was the other one like that. So just did the hinge again on there. And then, yep, you can see there's just lots of writing space Jesus painted all. This was from the collage paper, and so I just cut it down to make a basic pocket, and then put the butterfly on here. The butterfly was from the freebie fussy cuts for the Facebook group. Okay. I love this Risen Lord with that bird there. And then that's the end of the first signature, so now the second signature. For to the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. Song of Solomon, chapter 2, 11 to 12. That's so beautiful. There we go. And then here, there's just another doily that's just been cut in half, glued there to hold this one. Okay. And then just a little pocket with one of the tags, and I just put a butterfly on the top. More pages, and then I use this as a belly band. And then this was one of the extra journal pages that I had that I didn't use when sewing in the signature, so I've just popped that one in there. That's a bit tight, but it does go in. There we go. And then I've just put an eyelet in here with a garment gourd pin, and then Jesus, and added some chain for that to flop around on there. And then this is the little envelope. I probably should have done, just didn't even think about that, put something on the front of this, but that's okay. Just glued half of that down there to keep this closed. And as you can see, there's just so many fussy cuts. There were some freebie other digitals and things that Carolyn gave us in January, and so they're cut out with lots of things that she can embellish in this journal. So there's lots in there for her to choose from, and some of those are bright colours, you know, with greens and yellows, but purples and things, so it can brighten up this journal if she wanted to add some, you know, purple and added some colour in it. And then this one I made into a hidden paper clip and just put the little stamps on the top, and that was just a tag with some ribbon. So that's just holding that page there. So if I can get that on. Let's just put it on an angle because of the ribbon. And then another doily, half doily there to hold this. Now this is the other freebie, the card toppers, over on the Facebook group. So they're beautiful, and just a fussy cut that's in there. We're coming to the end, and then this is another hidden paper clip which I just made from the dangles. So that's how I've just used bits and pieces of the dangles. This one was folded over this top bit which had a hole, or a space for to put a hole in it to do it as a dangle, so I just covered it up with a butterfly. So that's just holding that down. And then this is one of the other ones that you could glue down to make into a pocket, but I've just kept it as extra writing space to flip out like that. Just more pages, and then we're definitely coming to the end. So there we go. So hopefully there are some little inspiring little bits, or something that you haven't seen before, something that will inspire you to make some of these. So you can either take a bit longer to make a bigger journal like this, or make a whole bunch of the small ones for Easter. They would be such a blessing. And before I forget, one of the other freebies that Carolyn has done is these chip packets. And so you can do two to a page, and so they end up being small little ones like this. So they're great. How cute is this? It says Jesus Facts on the back, and then it says for calories or daily value, and then it's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, the fruits of the spirit, and then it's got a psalm quote down there. So that's 2 to a page, that size when you fold them over, and this is 1 to a page. And so you just cut them out and then double-sided tape on the back and down here. So you could add glue or double-sided tape down the bottom. Years and years ago, I used to have a crimping tool to do like corrugated card, and don't know, can't find it, but some people have those and they look fantastic on these chip packets where you crimp them down the bottom and then glue up the top and crimp it up the top, and it looks like a real chip bag. So the idea of them is for Easter is to fill them up with any goodies that you can think of. So in January, Trish had designed these fantastic little notebooks, and so these are really sweet that I had made up in January. So I thought I might put those in these, and then for our Easter table with all of our new friends from our Persian friends and our family, that I would fill these, and for the kids we can fill them up with Easter eggs and wrapped chocolate, and you can put little notebooks in them and lollipops, and we call them lollies here. I know in America you call them candy. Or if you wanted to, you could put, you know, like a nut mix or something, as long as you close them up properly. You could do a nut mix in there. You could do all sorts of things. So anyway, there's a couple of ideas. So I would love to hear from you in the comments section if you would like to just say what you enjoyed the most, what you'd like to see more of in the future. That would be fun if you could just, yeah, comment in there, and then I definitely try to get back to all the comments to respond, and that would be fantastic. So we wish you all the very best. I'm sure I'll do another video before Easter, and so we'll catch you up in that one. God bless in the meantime. Bye.